Cotton is one of the major cash crops in Africa, accounting for up to 24% GDP in some of the countries where it is grown. Cotton production offers the greatest potential among other cash crops for increased employment, poverty reduction, rural development and generation of increased incomes for millions of resource-poor farmers. If well managed, efficient and effective cotton farming could revive cotton subsectors in many developing African countries and help to bring rapid economic development. Currently, over 10 African countries are cultivating cotton as a cash crop. They include South Africa, Chad, Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso, Mali, Malawi, Senegal, Tanzania, Uganda and Zambia. In the East Africa region, Uganda and Tanzania are major cotton producers, with their combined output expected to rise to over 400,000 tons by 2014 and be key exporters of the commodity. However, like any other sector, cotton farming has not been without challenges. One of them being the management of insects and pests which attack cotton crops at various stages of growth. These pests include jassids, aphids, whitefly and bollworms. The bollworm is the most destructive and acute of the cotton pests. The African cotton bollworm, scientifically known as Helicoverpa amigera, is a vicious pest which enters the cotton ball and eats it from within during the fruiting stage, thereby destroying the plant. If left unchecked, the bollworm can cause up to 100% crop failure. Controlling such cotton pests not only takes up a lot of time, but also accounts for the highest portion of cotton production costs through pesticides and spraying equipment. These costs can constitute up to 60% of the total production costs. Worse still, bollworms can become resistant to the pesticides.
Africa is really a continent that is very much loved by people and animals, and so the insects have a field day in Africa. There are so many insects that compete with farmers' crops, and so a technology that would reduce insect infestation would really help the farmer.
As a commercial to me, ale bara kagbele, ale bara ton kagbele, kateme sejamka. As a minkama, ale to be romana, ale katreta to kachakulu. At the karate to mutu kacha furokono. Donc commercial lana, sejam dana.
These risks, coupled with high costs involved, are some of the reasons why cotton farming has proved inefficient and unattractive for farmers in many parts of Africa. Now, scientists have developed another way to control the bollworm using a gene from Bt bacterium, scientifically known as Bacillus thuringiensis.
This gene helps the plant to produce a protein that is toxic to the bollworm.
Farmers have been able to utilize Bt since as early as 1920. It was preferred because it targets only specific insect and it is also organic, therefore it doesn't persist in the environment. Bt cotton, which contains the gene from the Bt bacterium, was the first genetically modified crop variety to be grown commercially in sub-Saharan Africa. Early adopters were small-scale farmers in Makatini Flats, which is in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. They have been growing the crop since 1998. As of 2011, biotech cotton adoption in South Africa had reached 100%, covering approximately 15,000 hectares, up from 10,000 hectares in 2007. Another country that has commercialized Bt cotton in Africa is Burkina Faso, where it was first planted in 2008 on 8,500 hectares of land. After remarkable success, the area under BT cotton was increased 30-fold to approximately 247,000 hectares in 2011, which is about 65% of the total area under cotton in Burkina Faso.
L'exploitation commerciale de ce coton au niveau des producteurs de coton au Burkina Faso a commencé en 2009 sur environ 130 000 hectares et en 2010, on a plus que doublé cette superficie parce que donc les producteurs ont un certain engouement pour cette technologie qui leur permet non seulement d'augmenter le rendement de plus de 30%, mais aussi de préserver leur santé parce que l'utilisation des insecticides chimiques était devenue un problème réel pour les producteurs de coton.
It is estimated that BT cotton has the potential to generate economic benefit of over $100 million for Burkina Faso, including the over 80,000 BT cotton farmers, 80% of whom are very small resource-poor farmers with less than 3 hectares of land. The yield increase was estimated to be close to 20%, plus at least a 65% reduction in insecticide sprays, which reduced from a total of 6 sprays required for conventional cotton to only 2 sprays for BT cotton.
Ce qui concerne la vie sociale, bon, moins de traitement, je vois qu'on est un peu libre. Donc la fatigue a baissé et on a la vie dans la famille et on a moins de travail sur le coton BTM.
Drawing from the success of BT cotton in South Africa and Burkina Faso, other African countries are also taking the cue and carrying out research to introduce the BT technology into their local cotton varieties. In Kenya, BT cotton research started in the year 2001 with the introduction of transgenic cotton Bolgard 1 and Bolgard 2. This was done with the aim of making cotton pest control more efficient and hence increasing farmers' returns while conserving the environment. The research team, with guidance from the then National Biosafety Committee, which is presently the National Biosafety Authority, embarked on the project with the following research objectives: to establish the efficacy of the Bolgard 1 and Bolgard 2 cotton targeted at Lepidopteran pests of cotton, to evaluate the effect of BT cotton on beneficial arthropods and general species diversity, to evaluate the risk of the BT cotton intercrossing with commercial cotton varieties, and to determine the economic advantage of BT cotton compared to non-BT commercial varieties.
This field is 1 hectare. The setup of the site is prescribed by the National Biosafety Committee. All the activities done in this site are controlled and supervised by the National Biosafety Committee, and KEFIS does that for the NBC. We have generated data for 4 seasons now. 1 season with Bolgard 1, 3 seasons with Bolgard 2, and all the results we have got every season have concurred that the technology is good. So at the research level, we have generated enough data to take this cotton to the next level. And the next level would be probably to start doing open field trials with farmers outside there, and use these trials also as demos to the farmers to show the technology, the difference between BT cotton and the conventional cotton that the farmers know. So yes, we can confidently take this cotton out to the farmers, and we can confidently tell Kenyan farmers that they will make money out of cotton because the cost of production will be reduced drastically.
In Uganda, successful field trials of insect-resistant BT cotton and herbicide-tolerant HT cotton have been conducted.
There are 2 experiments. One experiment is looking at how to control weeds in cotton through spraying with Roundup. So in that experiment, we have 2 varieties of cotton which are genetically modified, and when you spray them with Roundup, they don't die, but the weeds die. The other experiment is looking at how to control bollworms, a pest in cotton. That second experiment has also 2 varieties of genetically modified cotton, which when they are eaten by bollworms, the bollworms die, and therefore the cotton has an inbuilt ability to resist bollworms.
Currently, the bollworm is the greatest threat affecting cotton production in Uganda. The second greatest threat is weed infestation due to the unique weather conditions there. If commercialized, HT cotton would, according to the research team, help farmers to reduce the cost of herbicide application and weeding, which is currently one of the biggest expenditures for farmers. Cotton needs to be weeded at least 3 times before maturity, which usually discourages farmers from growing the crop.
Instead of leaving it at experimental level, I think we need to expand and have more of the farmers would definitely benefit from this genetically modified cotton.
Even with the successes that are being realized, there are still some concerns that have been raised about BT cotton. These concerns revolve mostly around issues of food and feed safety and the environmental impact. Questions have emerged as to whether the oil from the BT cotton seeds is safe for human consumption and whether the seed cake is safe for use as feed for livestock. Research has shown that the BT protein only targets a specific group of insects and is completely safe for all other living organisms, including humans, animals, and plants.
Originally, I was made to believe that it was dangerous until I've been explained to, and I've seen the effect. And now I'm a crusader.
It has also been extensively demonstrated that there is no significant risk of capture and expression of the BT gene by wild or weedy relatives of cotton. This is mainly because of sexual incompatibility between those plants and cotton. Safety assessment and risk management have been accorded the highest priority for biotech products, both by the official regulatory authorities as well as by the product registrants. Every country which has permitted or is in the process of commercializing biotech crops is required to develop necessary biosafety regulations to ensure safe deployment. Currently, 11 African countries have put in place national biosafety frameworks to regulate the safe use of the technology.
In Ghana recently, we worked on the biosafety bill, which Parliament has passed into an act. And during the course of the passage of that bill, my interest in biotechnology was enhanced.
Internationally, the Cartagena Protocol, which has been domesticated by many African countries, advocates for the precautionary principle. Based on such protocols, all biotech products, including GM crops, undergo a comprehensive and rigorous assessment process to demonstrate their safety and benefits before they are given due regulatory approvals. BT cotton has undergone and passed such tests in all countries before it received approval for commercialization. In all the 13 countries that grew BT cotton as of 2010, no substantive negative effects have been reported. The remarkable success that has been witnessed in Burkina Faso and South Africa has encouraged other countries to follow suit, and research has been initiated in several African countries.
Burkina Faso offers a lesson to many African countries, including my country, Zambia, that when people are determined to do something, they can achieve what they want. Burkina Faso is dependent on cotton. They have been doing a lot of research. They have gone through the whole process of ensuring that the crop can be grown together with conventional ones. The advantages are there to see. So the lessons to African countries is that it is important for policymakers, scientists, to make affirmative decisions that indeed this is possible even here in Africa.
High cotton production has enabled factories to run more efficiently, thus providing a guarantee of livelihood for many families. In the coming years, it is expected that countries like Kenya and Uganda that have conducted field trials will commercialize BT cotton and reap the benefits as well.
Among the GINAs, there is no GINA who is working at full capacity. All the GINAs are working not more than 30%. There is no GINA, I think, which is working more than 20%. That's the maximum. So with this research, I think we would get more cotton to put in our GINAs.
This, combined with enabling policies, strategic partnerships, efficient regulatory systems, and effective communication, biotechnology applications in Africa will surely make a significant contribution towards improving the continent's crop productivity.
So I would say that we as politicians are always there for our scientists, and we are only dependent on them and asking that they come out with all the various technologies that they will need us to help them to accomplish, and you will be there to work with them to make that accomplishment come true.
In the end, countless jobs will be created and the dignity of many African farmers uplifted as they reap the financial gains and become self-reliant, while at the same time ensuring environmental sustainability and continued economic growth.